guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Mahsa and I post new videos every week, so make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. So this week I thought I would take you guys through my May favourites, also known as the things that have been keeping me sane throughout lockdown. So let's get into it. So let's start with TV shows. Now, there's a couple of TV shows that I always go back to when I'm feeling a bit rubbish or need a bit of cheering up. And my number one TV show that I think I must rewatch about once a year is Gilmore Girls. If you're not familiar with Gilmore Girls, then first of all, why? Second of all, it's about a mother-daughter relationship and basically just things that go on in their lives, and you see the daughter age up, and it's a really nice, heartwarming TV show. It's really feel good. There's nothing major that goes on in it that's like tragic. So it's just really easy watching. If you've seen the show, then you know what I'm talking about when I say that a little part of me only rewatches it because of Milo Ventimiglia being in it, because I am Team Jess, and I will be Team Jess till the day that I die. They should have been Endgame. Don't come at me in the comments, like they should have been Endgame. Next TV show that I've been watching is Modern Family. Again, this is one that's been out for a really long time, but I just found it on Netflix and my boyfriend's never seen it, and it's just something nice and easy to kind of put on at the end of the day and binge watch 3 or 4 episodes in a go, and that's what we've been doing throughout May. I think we're on something like season 5 or something right now, and so far it's pretty good. I'm interested to see how it sort of develops, especially as the kids get older, so I'm looking forward to seeing how that turns out. And the last TV show that I binged watched in the month of May was Years and Years. If you haven't seen Years and Years, then I honestly could not recommend it enough. Now, I know that we're in the middle of a pandemic and Years and Years is by no means like light-hearted TV show. It's only about 6 to 8 episodes, I think it is, but it is like really heavy-hitting stuff, and it's everything that could have gone wrong, that has gone wrong in, I think, a 10 to 20 year period for this family that the show is centered around. So you see the 2008 recession and the effects of that, the immigration crisis getting worse and worse, you've got global warming getting worse and worse. So basically, it's very heavy hitting, but if you like that sort of stuff, then honestly I couldn't recommend it enough. It's such a brilliant TV show. The cast are absolutely stunning in it. It's such a brilliant cast, and I couldn't love the show more than I did. I think I binge watched it in maybe like a day or two, and I was left empty inside at the end of it, and I just cried for such a long time and then felt all the emotions once I'd calmed down. So honestly, yeah, give it a watch. So now let's move on to films. I didn't really watch a lot of films in the month of May. I only watched maybe like 2 or 3, but I'm gonna share them with you guys. So first one that I ended up watching was a film called Second Act. And I'm not gonna lie, I only stumbled onto this film because, again, it's got Milo Ventimiglia in it, and I'm sort of a little bit in love with him at this point in my life. So I watched it, but it also stars Jennifer Lopez, who is stunning in it because she's just one of the most beautiful women on the planet, in my opinion. And it's sort of about her getting a second chance in life to make something of herself when she's in her 30s or 40s, and it's such a nice film. I sometimes feel like I've left my life a little bit too late and that I'm too old to be doing anything, even though I'm only in my mid-20s. But yeah, so it's really nice to kind of watch her start over, even though I know that it's not real and it's just a film. The next film that I ended up watching was Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief. Now, I only watched this film because I know that Disney Plus are planning on doing a TV show version of it, and I love Greek mythology. I'm planning on also reading the books that this film is based off of and that the TV show is going to be based off of, so I just thought I'd give the film a go so that I could sort of prepare myself. And it's a really good film. There's some iffy CGI stuff happening, but I think it's from like 10 years ago, so we can kind of forgive that a little bit. But it's a really nice, chilled out film, and it's suitable for the entire family. The last film that I ended up watching was one that was recommended to me by my parents, and it's a little film called A Simple Favor, and it's available on Amazon Prime for I think only about like £1 or £2, so it's definitely worth watching. It's about an Iranian girl with her Iranian family living in America, and the sorts of pressures that she's under from her family to sort of have a good job and find a husband and get married and have kids, things that I definitely can't relate to. It's such a nice and funny and just chilled out film. I loved watching it, but I think that's because like there's so many things that Iranians would get, especially if you're Iranian and living in a different country, and the different things that the parents were saying. My boyfriend was sat next to me like, is that really what they think? And I'm like, yes, every time I speak to my grandmother, she wants me to find a husband before she dies. Like, this is very basic Iranian conversations. So yeah, it stars Tara Gerami, who is absolutely brilliant. She's become someone that I'm really like looking up to at the minute in terms of my acting career, because everything that she does, she brings her little Persian flair to it, and that's something that I hope that I can one day do, and I just think she's brilliant. So if you can, watch the film. It's so good. So the next thing that's sort of been helping keep me sane is a podcast and a Instagram live chat thing that I've been watching. Both of these things are based around my acting career and information to do with the acting industry. So they've both been making me feel like I'm not just wasting my time and that I am using it semi-productively. So the first thing that I've been listening to is a podcast called The 98%. This is run by two girls that are based in London, and it's a brilliant podcast if you're an actor, if you're in the industry and not an actor, or if you know someone who is an actor and you kind of want to relate to them a bit more and see the kind of struggles that they actually deal with. So it's called The 98% because a study was done a few years ago where it showed that only 2% of actors get paid more than £20,000 a year, which leaves the other 98% of us not making 20 grand a year from our acting jobs, and the struggles that come with that, and like mental health issues and all of that stuff is covered by these two girls. They are truly brilliant girls. I love them to pieces, and it's such a nice and funny podcast to listen to because you feel like you're being productive, but at the same time you kind of have other people that you can relate to because we're all going through the same struggles. The next thing that I've been watching / listening to, it's an Instagram live that Newman Casting Studios, who are based in London, have been doing. They've been doing live Instagram sessions with different people from the industry, so be it casting directors or people that are successful in the industry and that sorts of things, like even agents. They've been doing Instagram live chats with, where people get to ask questions, and I've had a couple of my questions answered, so it's been really lovely, and you kind of get different perspectives from different people in the industry about how they like things to be approached, whether you're approaching them and showing them your show reel or what they think a show reel should be like, and all of that fun acting stuff. So if you're in the industry, I think they've put all of their live chats onto Instagram TV or IGTV, whatever it's called. I think they've put all of them onto there, so they are there if you guys wanted to watch them. I will link Newman Studios down below so you can check those guys out. So I know it doesn't seem like there's an awful lot of stuff that I've been watching and listening to, and that is because in the month of May, I have rediscovered my love for reading. So I've been reading a lot of books, or things that I think are a lot of books. Bearing in mind, I have read more books in May than I think I did for like the entirety of 2019. So I think I've done pretty well. And let's get into the books that I absolutely freaking adored. So first things first, I want to start off with the Eve Illusion. I don't know how well you guys can see that, but the Eve Illusion is the second book in the Eve of Man trilogy. And I love this trilogy so much. I think it's brilliant, but I have done a more in-depth talk about the first book and the Eve Illusion, which I will link for you guys down below, and I'll pop it somewhere onto the screen if you wanted to check that out for yourselves. The next book was actually an audiobook, and it was Scrappy Little Nobody by Anna Kendrick. And I didn't know what I kind of thought this was going to be like, but it was really lovely to listen to her kind of take us through different events in her life and how she's dealt with them. There was one quote that really stuck out to me, and the quote was, "The real problem is I let anxiety cripple my relationships." And the second she said that in the book, I was just like, wait, is that me? Am I Anna Kendrick? So I related to her so much. It's really lovely. Like, again, this one was sort of like an acting thing. And when she was, like, simultaneously as she was nominated for an Oscar, she was living with 2 roommates and was worried about affording a pair of shoes for the Cannes Film Festival, I think it was, because it was the same price as her rent and she couldn't afford it. So it kind of puts everything into perspective, like what you consider to be success might not always be what success actually is. So I loved this book so much. And last but not in the least is the House of Night series. So I have my books here. I've got Betrayed, Chosen, I've got Untamed, and Hunted. So I read these 4 books, I think the quickest that I've read books in a very long time. And I love this series because, yes, it's a young adult sort of vampire series, but it's really different. It's really based in like Native American mythology and their stories, and it brings in a lot of like the different elements, and it's really brilliant. I'm thinking of doing a more in-depth talk about the entire series once I've finished reading the entire series. So if you guys are interested in something like that, then let me know in the comments below and I will get to work on that. But I have finished book 5 and I am now on to book 6 in the series. And I do believe, I think there is 12 books in total, which have been a nightmare to try and find because they came out quite a while ago, but I've managed to get my hands on them from Waterstones, I absolutely freaking love Waterstones. So I've managed to get my hands on them and I'm really looking forward to finishing reading those. So that wraps up my May favorites. I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. If you have, give it a like and make sure that you subscribe and comment down below if you try any of the things that I've mentioned and let me know what you guys thought. Make sure that you do subscribe because I do post new videos every week and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!